Going live. And welcome back to another episode of the WRK podcast, where we ask the questions by the end of the day. Who really knows? As always, I'm host AJ here with my good friends Dylan and Michael.
Good afternoon.
So
Happy
yeah,
Monday.
Before we jump into this this juicy episode, why don't you do us a favor and follow us on Twitter at WRKPod, on Instagram at WRKPodcast. And when you're done doing that, or if you need any links to anything, hit up our website, WRKpodcast.com. You'll find everything there, a picture of us and The Rock. And it'll also link you to our Patreon page, patreon.com/WRKpod, where you can be like one of the many other patrons that support this show, like our beloved McCheese, who has the smallest dick in Australia.
Yeah.
Seen pictures.
Yeah, and it's a good time over there. You can see a three-way conversation between me, the Comedy Store's Sam Tripoli, and a guy that hosts a show named Jeffrey Wilson, who hosts a show with UFC Hall of Famer Pat Miletich. So it's a pretty good source. We're thinking about doing a second show, which we're in the works and talking about, and getting going for the Patreon only exclusive show for you loyal patrons. But yeah, what else we got to plug? We got.
I think that's it. But we might be putting out that the first episode ever on our Patreon.
Yeah,
We're almost 100 episodes in.
Yeah.
getting there. Yeah.
That's fucking getting there. Hell yeah.
Can't just give it all away, you know. You got to keep some of it behind a closed door.
Yeah, you want episode 100.5? It's gonna be on Patreon for sure.
The lock
Oh, yeah.
to this door, a debit card machine.
Yeah. I'll take cash. You can come up to me.
Yeah, we'll take cash.
If you start putting dollar bills in my waistband, I'm gonna give you kisses and Patreon content.
If you
know
have
what I'm
loose
saying?
change in your couch, like we'll take it.
You're probably right.
Yeah, throw all the loose change in your bank account. Every bank's got a coin machine. Just be like, hey, these boys, I like their content. Let's support it. So if you like the content and all that shit, go to Patreon. I don't know.
Check it out.
Or not.
Yeah, or not.
But do.
Fuck you too. No, I'm saying.
We'll jump into the episode after a little bit of this groovy lo-fi beat. So yeah, here we are. We're trying something. It's going to start off kind of new, but it's going to end almost the same. It's a new aspect of a subject on our show. I would say, like, it's not new subject material, but the source material is different, or how we came about the source material for it.
Oh yeah.
So this story starts out as an urban legend, and everyone has urban legends in the areas where they grow up, like haunted houses, witches' graves, Mothman, shit like that. We're gonna take a shot at one. It's a very interesting story. I think it's super interesting. I saw a documentary on it like 3 years ago, and just kind of texted you guys about it. What was it, like Saturday? Like I gave you guys super short notice, like Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, it was wild. It was that documentary was back in 2012.
Yeah,
That's a long time
it's
ago.
an old one. It's an oldie but a goodie.
It's a long time ago. That's kind of a long
It
time
was
ago.
2012 this year.
Oh yeah. Every year is 2012.
Yeah. So obviously we're talking about Cropsey, the urban legend of New York and the Hudson River region.
Yep.
It's like all over the Hudson River area.
Dr. Crosby.
Dr. Crosby. Cropsey.
Oh, not Bill Cosby.
Not Bill Cosby. No.
Oh.
We're on to you, Bill.
So yeah, this story specifically takes place in Staten Island, New York. It's the urban legend of the escaped mental patient who lived in a tunnel system under the rundown Willowbrook Mental Asylum. They call it Institute. It's an asylum.
Oh.
And it's in what is now Woods in Staten Island. It was quote unquote a school for the mentally ill. And the story was he would come out at night and snatch kids off the street.
Damn. So there was a tunnel system underneath this asylum?
Yep. Yeah, it was described as like a hive.
I wonder if there was actually, I didn't really think about it, but because they talk about another building that kind of has the similar tunnel system. I wonder if all of them, if that's just their thing.
A lot of them back in the day. I mean, I'm pretty sure I wasn't here for this, but you guys did a whole segment on subterranean cultures and shit like that. What if there was, in Futurama, they got the sewer people. There could be the same thing going on.
I think they actually mentioned that about
this guy was a sewer person.
I think they mentioned about like subterranean or did they say subterranean
they
culture?
Referred to them as subterranean community. I think is what
Yeah.
they called it.
Because there was so many places for them to like. There's just so much land that was able to be.
Yeah, well,
they chiseled out a fucking entryway to the underground tunnels through the highway underpass.
Oh, yeah.
Shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which that takes a lot of crackhead energy to do.
A lot of crack too.
Yeah. Don't forget the crack.
Yeah,
you can't have the crackhead energy without the crack. Yeah.
No, you cannot.
Me and Dylan are on the same page on this. You can't have crackhead energy without crack.
Right. Yeah, that's the most important thing. Don't ever forget to bring crack. No matter where you go, you're always gonna wish you brought crack in any situation.
Yeah, like if you don't have crack, how are you supposed to get anything done?
Yeah, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Clean my room? Fuck, don't know. A little bit of crack, room's cleaned.
I was gonna clean my room.
It's just like magic.
Then I got high.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm still not really sure what crack looks like.
Yeah.
I never have personally.
I just imagine
seen
salt.
Crack.
It's a little wet.
Salt? Is it wet?
Yeah, it's like
Really?
a wet, white, yellow rock kind of thing.
I was imagining like kosher salt.
I just have never. I mean, you see it in all the in shows and stuff like that, but in person, never.
No,
never.
I was thinking Breaking Bad, but like more white.
Yeah, I don't know. It goes in their body,
and
they smoke it through a light bulb.
Yeah, exactly.
You can get shot like 20 times to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
This recently happened in our town here.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. But yeah, there's a lot of drugs going on there. I mean, as what they described Staten Island as just being kind of like a shithole. I don't know if shithole is the right place to say, but kind of like with
it's where the mob used to dump their shit that they didn't want anymore, like bodies, drugs.
Right. Like a dump. Like they said in the documentary, it's just a dump for everything. Yeah, not just for trash, for fucking everything.
It's referred to as the forgotten borough of New York City. Yeah, but now, like, I know what people who are constant listening to their show are probably thinking, like, oh my God, are they going to talk about a fucking ghost story? No, we're not talking about a fucking ghost story.
Because we all know that I don't believe in ghosts.
Yeah, I'm not going that far to say that.
Yeah, I believe in ghosts, but I'm not gonna.
If you guys ever do a ghost episode, I'll be there.
Well, we're talking about. We've been thinking about renting out the Villisca Axe Murder House and doing a show there. It won't be live because there's no fucking internet. But
I'll take on the role of getting
hotspot.
possessed. I'll make sure I get possessed first.
Dylan's gonna be the Zach Bagans laying underneath an axe on the wall and be like, "If you're real, fucking smite me with this axe."
I'm gonna freak out. Like,
fucking kill me.
All tipped out on psychedelics.
A rat's gonna like drop a plate. I'm gonna swing the axe in the wall. Like, oh God, what the fuck? I don't know. It'll be a great time. It's gonna be a good time.
So yeah, this urban legend has concrete roots that it kind of spurts out into the society the way that everything did before 2001 when Motorola came out with the first like practical flip phone. You know,
Dude,
when it was just like moms talking in their kitchens.
give me a Nokia any day, bro.
Yeah, but it's not a flip phone, so it wasn't
I don't
cool.
care. I'd rather have Nokia right now over this fucking piece of shit I have.
Well, I mean, you have that option.
Do I? They still sell them?
Yeah.
It's easy.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean,
eBay that shit.
Maybe
You
not.
pay
I'd have to eBay it.
Maybe not. No, keep it like older phones, dude.
No.
Smartphones. I tried 1 month. I had to use an old flip phone, and I thought to myself, "This is gonna be great. This is gonna be awesome." Fucking hated it.
I did it for 6 months.
Things.
I did it for 6 months. The only bad thing was it was really hard to watch porn on.
And then plus like
You had to call the porn lines. You couldn't just look it up.
I was calling 1-800-EAT-DUST like
you
daily.
Had to talk to someone.
I was like, we got chicks with dicks and dudes with boobs. I was like, just take my fucking money, dude. Shut the fuck up about your advertisement.
Yeah.
I want Randy to talk about his fake tits.
They're real.
Yeah, but back then it was just like house moms in their house or their kitchens talking about what they heard that the news missed, that they heard around the neighborhood, and then kids would overhear that,
Right.
and then they'd go to school and tell their friends, like, you would not believe what my mom was telling Juanita last night. It's crazy. There's a homeless man who lives in tunnels underneath our city, and he's snatching kids up, and that's where stories like Cropsey come.
But yeah, I didn't even. It must have been in the very beginning that I was like not paying full attention. That's Cropsey. Where does that? It was just the made up name. It just got made up.
Yeah.
I honestly
Some popular kid with like
they didn't
polo
explain that
said it
at
once.
all later in the documentary, and I was just like, oh, I should really find this out. But I'm sure AJ knows. I assumed it was just a. It's just a.
It's
name.
just something that Brad came up with that summer camp.
Right.
What if it was just like a human trafficking ring?
Is it Cropsey or is it Chop Suey? I can't tell the difference, honestly.
What?
Anyways, yeah, I don't know. So where do we have good background on this guy's earlier years?
Like, I don't
Oh,
know.
not really.
Like, what's the like? Let me in on like the story. Like, who is this guy?
Like Cropsey?
Like, you said he's a patient, mental patient that escaped.
Wait,
like,
when did he? When
no,
did
he wasn't
his,
a mental patient.
I'm when like my
he was just
my
underneath the
thought, not the guy, but Cropsey itself. Like, when did that?
right.
Was that after?
It's like the same thing as the Hook Man, the Lover Lane Killer.
I'm just wondering when it came about. I'm wondering
60s, probably. I would assume the 60s.
Because I mean, all of this didn't happen till.
Well, this didn't. This story that we're going to be talking about isn't until the 80s. But I mean, it's been a thing in every like culture since.
Right.
Cropsey has?
Well, something like that.
Or
The
Boogeyman.
Cropsey's just another.
I just didn't know if that was created because of what happened, or if it was like, if it was before this happened, it was already a thing.
Like Cropsey is the name that they use for the wooded boogeyman from Staten Island all the way up to Pennsylvania.
Where's the Blair Witch come in?
It made me,
Pretty sure that's Maine.
Okay.
I thought about Blair Witch and stuff like that.
More like Blair bitch.
Super bitch.
Oh, dude, she sucks. Kills the guys first. That's not how the horror movie works.
Gotta kill the naked women.
Unless you got Jamie Lee Curtis on your cast.
Damn. Then you should go all Freaky Friday and trade places with the fucking killer.
There's a movie coming out that is literally that with Vince Vaughn.
No shit.
Yeah. I can't remember what it's called. It's made by the same people that made Happy Death Day.
Huh.
Which is surprisingly good.
Never saw it, but I will watch it now. What's it even on? No clue.
Yeah, I don't know. Netflix, maybe. Hulu, Amazon.
I don't know if you guys want to sponsor us. Hulu, Amazon, Netflix. Maybe.
Yeah, we just
do
gave
it.
you a free shout out. Like, what the fuck? So we're making business deals here.
So, yeah, like once these urban legends in these areas facilitate amongst like the young kids, the parents kind of weaponize it and use it to keep their kids or used to. It doesn't work anymore because someone's on Snapchat be like, I'm on the fucking bridge under South Main. I hope the troll doesn't get me. And it's like, oh yeah, no, there's nothing there. But back, like, I mean, even when we were kids, I'd be like, oh my God, what the fuck? Like someone told me that the church next to Southdale was haunted. We would go there and like try to like look in the windows at night and
Oh, I think I remember fucking doing that, and it's like, yeah, it's freaky when you're young, but then I guess, you know, not having exposure to a lot of true and fake stories, so it's like, yeah, like when you hear something, you're just like, well, no one's here to tell me the shit isn't real, so
Right, gotta go check it out.
all right, like
back in the day when I would get in trouble at school and I would sit in the kitchen when the phone rang, I'd be like, oh, my dad's not home, and hang up the phone. Like those days back when it was still word of mouth kind of stories. Now it's like, I don't know if that's true. Let's see what Randy posted on Twitter. But back in the day,
it was just word of mouth.
Yep. And so, yeah, again, our story takes place in Staten Island, the forgotten borough of New York City. It's home of over 500,000 people, which kind of blew my mind. One of those people is Pete Davidson. Just saying.
yeah.
Not a fan?
Not a fan.
Like his acting.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of his stand-up. I like his acting.
I don't know. His acting might be all right, but I haven't him being on fucking SNL or whatever. It's kind of like, yeah, it kind of sucks.
I don't mind him. I just think he doesn't have like the, you know, the fucking Jim Carrey spunk that you want out of a SNL character, you know.
Yeah, he's just kind of there.
I did like
just
him though.
Stoned out of his mind.
Yeah. Every scene, I did like him though, because it's like every scene he did, it was just it felt so awkward that it worked for me. That I was like, you're just so awkward, like kind of awkward about shit sometimes, that I'm just like, that like he looks stoned out of his mind, but I'm like, this is great. Like fuck all these other people who aren't funny, really in character, and you just pop in here like, hey, what's up? I'm Pete Davidson. Like, just
hey,
like,
what's up, dude? My dad died on 9/11.
Oh man, yeah, but I don't know. Staten Island, never been. Have you guys ever been there?
No, but a couple of kids that worked for me in New York were from Staten Island.
Okay. They have a pretty big accent.
Very thick accent.
Awesome.
Dude, it's weird. You can tell where someone's from in New York by their accent. Like, not when you first get there, but after like 6 months, you'd be like, oh, you're from Brooklyn. You're from Long Island. You're from Staten Island.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Like,
it just
Long
all
Island
sounds the same to me. Just bunch of words, pronouncing them funny and stuff.
Yeah.
Long Island's like the thickest, I think, in my opinion. I'll just throw that out there. Sorry if anyone from Long Island ever hears this, but
they're pretty good.
It's like I'm taking my dog for a walk and drink some coffee. Like they're like, I'm from Long Island.
Long Island oyster.
Like every vowel is 2 O's instead of whatever vowel it's supposed to be.
It was the accent though, as weird and kind of different as me not being used to it. I was kind of thinking, does this make, you know, do I think it attractive? And I'm like, you know what? Some of these older women that I probably wouldn't bang kind of have some bang value to them. It is.
You're talking about in the documentary.
Yeah, the accent puts some fire behind them. You know, they're spicy. I wanna know them.
They're also New Yorkers.
Yeah,
you probably has the fucking worst accent ever. Is that what's that girl on that TV show? Fran Drescher or whatever. I cannot.
Sophia Vergara?
No. Have you guys ever seen fucking, what show is that? It's like she's like a fucking nanny for this rich white dude or whatever. I mean, it might be called the nanny. I don't fucking know. But her name's Fran Drescher, and she's there's like such a high pitched fucking like annoying voice, dude.
No idea.
I feel like the voice just, I almost can.
Yeah, you can hear the voice. It's like nasally as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
I gotta look it up.
I don't know. Yeah, as soon as you said that, I'm like, yeah, it probably sounds familiar.
Fran.
We probably know who it is. The accent is cool though, you know. I feel like it'd be dope to go live there for a little bit, you know, for like 5 years, and then you come back to Iowa talking I'm like from Brooklyn here, and I'm working here, you know. I mean, I could just start doing that right now. No one would stop me. So
yeah, that's true.
I wonder if they sell classes online for learning how to speak like
accent,
from
do accents.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a class. I'm gonna sign up.
I want New York, Texas, And Midwest.
There's this dude. There's straight up this girl that I worked with from Long Island, and she was like, "Yeah, I went walking." I'm like, "You went what?" She's like, "Walking." And I'm like, "What the fuck are you saying right now?" I can't remember her name, but I remember her face and the like facial structure when she talked. She didn't talk to you. She talked to you.
Let's fucking talk to you.
Go home and watch
I fucking
my
talk to
gloss.
you today, okay? You know what I'm talking about.
It's
like literally-
brats. Go grill some brats. Sorry if I'm butchering this.
It's like listening to
inappropriate.
it's like listening to Robert De Niro 24/7.
Cultural
Was
appropriation.
talking to her. It was like, you're an attractive young female, but you sound like Robert De Niro. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
Oh,
Right.
So in the center of Staten Island, there's a heavily wooded area known as the Green Belt. In the Green Belt, there is an abandoned Boy Scouts camp, an abandoned tuberculosis ward, and an abandoned state institution, which is Willowbrook School for the Mentally Disabled.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What we would call in today's society an asylum.
Yeah.
Wait, wouldn't that be just like River Hills or no?
No,
Okay.
it's very, it's a
I mean,
hospital. It's a hospital.
It's a hospital. It's an actual asylum.
Yeah, it
Okay,
was.
It's not an actual school for.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
Yeah, if you see the footage from inside of the quote unquote school,
Yeah.
it's like, here's my
Prison
kid.
ward.
I don't know what to do with him,
Right.
and they just left him in.
Yeah.
Like-
Take out all his teeth so he doesn't bite and cut
Did
off
you,
his
you didn't
fingernails.
see the footage
No,
at all?
no.
Man, it's
Dude,
crazy.
it's literally like an unlit hospital ward.
It's
Yeah.
like
It's
dark.
three
It's-
floors tall, no lights, and just mentally ill kids sitting in dirty clothes.
like rocking,
Damn.
like kids are rocking.
Yeah,
back
sitting in
and
the
forth,
corner,
like,
licking the
you
walls.
just
eating
hear
crayons.
Yeah.
what would you say, moans or what would
I would
the right word-
I would even
like-
say groans,
groans, yeah,
like
groans.
hunger, pain, like.
I eat the red crayons.
But I
'cause the
mean,
red
what
is
you know,
just
it's
the
like
best.
we've all heard, you know, maybe like a special needs kid, you know,
Right.
make sounds, and that's what it was like. It was the saddest thing. Like, you know, thank God we take care of them now today, because it's like back then, instead of like nice wheelchairs and getting taken care of, they're just all fucking in these rooms, scattered in the bathrooms,
with
in
like
the
with like
rooms, and
one person taking care of like 40 kids on a floor.
They said there was
Okay.
like that they were just covered in shit and
Yeah, just-
piss and
Soiled clothing.
Fuck that.
So
Yeah.
that's why I say asylum, not school.
right.
Right.
Because yeah.
Yeah.
And this is where the kids would tell their friends that Cropsey lived, was in the abandoned asylum.
Oh yeah.
Well, under the abandoned asylum.
There actually is tunnels underneath this asylum, or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, have you ever seen the movie Grave Encounters?
No,
like
but
any like scary movie where they go to like an abandoned building and there's like the boiler system connects all the buildings and stuff like
well,
that.
I know that New York has, like, not to go back to Futurama references, but it's
Subterranean
like
structure.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
New York down there, you know, or up here.
Mm-hmm. Basically.
It's like they fucking built over pre-existing structures and shit like that.
So so Westbrook, quote unquote, state school was shut down by a young reporter who we now know as Geraldo Rivera for his. That's where he got his big break. Geraldo is now known for being a punching bag on Fox News. He is Willowbrook at that point, just that one.
Is
that one
sorry,
school.
Is Rivera the guy that was in the interview that was in the rooms? That was okay.
And he's the guy that he was the one that broke open Al Capone's vault.
Oh wow.
And he used to be an investigative journalist, and now he worked
Yeah, the name sounds familiar.
He worked
as
for
fuck.
CNN. He's the guy with like the waxed mustache on Fox News.
I'm gonna have to look him up.
And
He
like
still has the mustache, of
Sean
course.
Hannity and Tucker Carlson beat the fuck out of him for entertainment. Like Trump supporters see him come on and be like, "Oh yeah, we know it's gonna be a good episode."
Fuck. What was his first name?
Geraldo, Geraldo. Maybe it's Geraldo. I don't know. But
Wow, he's looking just fly as fuck.
So Willowbrook is just in itself is a 90-acre compound in the fucking forest, which Uraldo was contacted by a doctor that worked at the asylum, and he showed up unannounced, even unknown to the doctor that contacted him, to do a recorded walkthrough and reported on groups or reported on the goings-ons in the institute where the kids were laying in their own filth.
That's what I found
And all that
wild as
stuff.
hell. That
Like, he just showed up with a
just
camera and a
yeah,
microphone.
like a guy, like, hey, like, I know, you know, they didn't really ask us to come here, but you want to come with me? Like, I don't really want to do this on my own, you know? Like,
He was
this is
arguably
scary.
the first YouTuber.
Yeah, I don't know. That's wild that he just decides to show up. Like, I wonder what they. I mean, it's so weird that he was just allowed. Like, they were like, we don't even
He just
care.
walked in.
Yeah, they were like,
Yeah,
we
he
don't
just,
give a
he
shit.
just walked in.
I bet the nurses were like, look at this. Like, this is fucked up. Like, do you get paid a lot for being a nurse for that? Like, I
Hell
mean,
no.
probably not. Like,
But I mean, they were saying that I just looked up Willowbrook and shit like that because I wanted to see all the pictures and shit. That shit's fucking crazy. But they were saying that the police were like regularly there because like the staff were fucking strangling the fucking patients and all the tests that were going on and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck
I
that.
guess I didn't know about like tests. I mean, I'm sure back in the day, that's all they were like.
They were injecting them with like hepatitis and shit.
Oh,
Where
Jesus.
do you think we got where do you think all those doctors that we recruited after World War II ended up? State institutions, bro.
Yeah.
Running tests on humans. Doing the same thing they did for Adolf Hitler.
What's that fucking what's that one show on American Horror Story Asylum, dude? So it kind of
Yeah,
reminds me
I
of
mean, 100% is
they got the underneath and everything, dude.
Yeah, true.
Damn, and then there's that one dude that holy shit.
the Nazi doctor, yeah.
Well, yeah, and then there's that fucking-
Dr. Grubkov or whatever the
and
fuck
then,
his
well,
name
then
is.
there's that one dude that comes back after years or whatever and is like killing everybody there or whatever, you know, because there's like kids that are coming in.
Oh,
and
the
shit.
Psychiatrist.
No,
No,
because it was like the one dude's.
you're not talking about.
Oh, I'm talking about a different season, aren't I?
I don't
Because
know.
the one
Well,
dude,
Asylum, it's the dad, and then his son comes back and re-kills people that come to do
it's the-
ghost tours of the asylum.
It's the girl though, right? That writes the book on everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm.
and she has a kid.
Yeah,
and then he
perfect.
becomes the new leather face killer or whatever the fuck they call him.
Crosby. Bill
Cropsey.
Crosby.
Cropsey.
Yeah, Bill
Basically.
Crosby.
Basically,
Damn.
Yeah, full circle, man.
that's nuts.
Hollywood recreates the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Geraldo Rivera, he said that the rooms all smelled of filth, disease, and death. He might have been being like hyperbolic or something, but I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't imagine a bunch of ill kids sitting in filth would smell great.
The smell.
Most
Yeah,
of
is
these kids
what
probably
they-
couldn't even
yeah.
wipe themselves, so they're probably just pooping.
They were literally just sitting in day old shit pants.
Hell yeah! I wouldn't even wear pants.
There were a lot of kids that didn't.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, a lot of kids just fucking laying around naked,
Curled up on the floor, rocking back and forth,
Yeah.
groaning, moaning, groaning.
Baloney.
making all kinds of noise.
Stuff
But
that you're
after
saying.
his story was published, it still took 10 years for the facility to be shut down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's something that fucking was like, holy shit, 10 years. Like
After this is public information, 10 years.
if that was today, that shit would be fixed. It would have been shut down. People would have been fucking sent to jail. Like people would have.
Yeah, dude. One person could have made a tweet about it, and then it would have been like, "Oh, this needs to end." Like, it's literally one person that's never been here tweeted about it. Like, nope, it's over. It's fucking over. Cancel culture.
Yeah. You had cancel culture. Fuck yeah. Back then though, yeah, you couldn't cancel anything. Couldn't do anything. You didn't have communication.
The community outreach.
Well, imagine. So when we're talking later about like them looking for the bodies of these kids that had gone missing in the area, imagine how many unmarked graves there were at the just asylum itself.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So if they were going looking for these kids, what if they just picked up a body of one of these unmarked kids and was like, "Oh yeah, this is the one."
Well, the one body that they do find in this whole story is a fresh body.
Oh,
So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty wild.
Yeah, but like some patients were sent home. Others were rumored to have been confused about their day-to-day habits, and when they were sent away, ended up wandering back and just lived in the abandoned asylum.
I believe that.
And that's where that's where and they accessed the tunnel system, lived in the tunnel system of Westbrook or Willowbrook, not Westbrook.
You think they were happier by themselves or with people feeding them and medication and stuff?
Well, I mean, if you see the videos, there was no one feeding them shit. They were by themselves the whole time.
I mean, they didn't care if someone was next to them or if they were alone. They were mentally incapable of doing anything.
I mean, but yeah, at some point they give you pills to the point where you can't think too. But I mean, there are some special.
This is back in the. I mean, these kids did not look happy. These kids, you see them just fucking.
They don't even have emotion. They're just like
they just
there. They just exist.
Yeah.
Exist in kind of slightly pain. I don't know, or
like we're not talking
pain,
like
maybe, but
high
discomfort.
functioning.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
we're talking like severely
You gotta
mentally
take out all
disabled.
their teeth so they don't bite people, kind of shit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Put oven mitts on them.
So this rumor about the people living in the sewer system, or not the sewer system, the underground web hive system of Willowbrook, sparked even deeper version of the Cropsey story in Staten Island. And it was just a story at that point. And then kids start going missing in Staten Island.
Damn. When was the first one that they...
I think the first one was in, what was it? In 1972. Was the first the first one. The one that this guy got convicted of was, or the first one he got convicted of, she went missing July 9th, 1987. And the first Cropsey case that they linked him to was, but they couldn't prove anything about it, was 15 years before. So that would make it 1972.
It was 72,
But that asylum closed in 87.
No.
86?
The asylum closed in like 1969 or something. 1970?
No.
When did it close? I don't remember.
It was 1987. 1947 to 1987.
So 77 must have been the documentary then, or
Geraldo's.
Yeah,
Geraldo's documentary.
I think it's called the exhibition or expose. His expose, I think is what they refer to it as.
Right.
So on July 9th, 1987, a 12-year-old girl with Down syndrome went missing. Her name was Jennifer Schweiger. $5,000 reward leading to her finding and conviction of the kidnapper was posted. And in the 80s, that's a fuckload. Like that's almost insane. $12,000 now.
So that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Most people could not put up. I would just have to put that money up and just fake it and be like, oh, I'll pay you.
Or I'll farm gold for you in RuneScape.
Right.
That's a big fucking money maker in prison, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's like the number one prison, like gold system now, because you can get your phone taken away. But
RuneScape.
RuneScape gold, dude, because you can pay for it with real money, and you can also get it in the game. You can just trade it, bam, bam. You get your phone taken, but you don't get your money taken.
Confused.
It's true. Look it up.
I mean, I'll take your word for it. So one thing about New Yorkers, especially like New York City New Yorkers, is they have like an extreme sense of community, and hundreds of people in Staten Island banded together and started searching the woods like immediately.
Damn.
When this girl went missing. And it's actually amazing to watch the footage of the searches that like 12 years after the expose, how quickly the forest reclaimed the land, like how in 12 years just looks like it had been abandoned for like 30.
Oh yeah.
It's
Well, it kind of was, but
yeah, no groundskeeper for 12 or I guess the same year. It was abandoned the same year that this girl went missing, but it's looks like the forest regrew around the fucking asylum. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's,
I mean, I think it just looks eerie. Looks like a scary forest or a scary haunted house.
You guys want to go there for a fucking episode?
I mean, I'm down to do like a haunted tour or like an asylum tour or something like that. But I mean, like I want at least a katana.
Yeah, I'm bringing fucking.
Like, and I'm not talking about like when you get on eBay. I'm talking about I want
like 12,
to go to Japan, 12 fold.
Yep, 12 folds. But
I want that Kill Bill katana. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean,
like one that could cut a bullet in half.
I want one to be able to cut spirits in half. I need like a.
You just got to get it blessed.
You need a cursed blade,
or blessed,
or blessed. I'd rather have a blessed.
You want cursed one? Trust me.
But if there's an angel there with a blessed blade, you can fight the angel. You know what I'm saying? Supernatural rules.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
Supernatural got it all wrong.
I think so.
That's why I love it, because it's so fiction. They're so wrong.
My favorite thing about that show is that it's fictional.
Because I mean, if that shit was really happening, like, fuck, oh my god, I wouldn't sleep at night.
I'm worried about the wrong things.
Killer fucking.
I'm worried about my taxes and shit.
Killer spirit clowns. What?
Like, I can get sucked into a mirror.
What?
I think I already have. I don't think I'm the same person that was in the mirror last time I looked in there.
My dog ate my homework. What?
Yeah, I think you are too. I definitely like the new Mike better. The old Mike was a pussy.
Yeah, this Mike, he only slays those.
Yep. Yeah. Anyways.
So yeah, in searching the grounds of the asylum, they found that a good number of people that were castaways ended up coming back, which fed the theory of the people leaving came back, and they were living there, literally finding like days old remnants of people being there when they were searching the grounds.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like the search scared them away, or scared them underground, or wherever they went. It's crazy, and it only gets weirder.
So when they were searching for these people and they came back, do you think it was just a bunch of hobos living there at this point, or do you think it was the people that just came back?
A mix. I think it's a mix.
Yeah.
I'd probably almost say like majority is probably like people homeless, like out
majority
in the woods.
hobos.
Like, that's what they said. That like they were like it's all over the place. People, you've got people living all over the place in the woods, but it would make sense that people with special needs would come back because there was other people.
All they know.
Well, there's other people maybe there that maybe were like, oh shit, like, hey, we're homeless, but we'll take care of you in a weird, homeless kind of
I feel like homeless fucking look out for themselves. Man, I don't know. There's like a homeless code.
The hobo code.
To look out for. You mean to look after each other?
Yeah.
Oh, you said look after themselves, and I was like, you mean like
the homeless
look
after themselves as a group?
Yeah. The homeless look after the homeless.
Yeah.
I mean, and themselves.
Homies is now changed to homeless.
Yeah.
We'll go chill with some homeless later.
Play some games with the homeless. So this is kind of where the Cropsey's face in Staten Island comes into the picture. The man Andre Rand, he worked as an orderly from 1966 to 1968 at the Willowbrook Asylum, and after it was shut down, he lived in several makeshift camps around the area for years, around the grounds of the asylum.
Really?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So this guy that has, probably strangled and killed a few fucking patients, it's probably just like, dude, I need to keep doing what I'm doing.
I don't know. I wonder if they ever had him do that in when he was working there. But I mean, I don't know.
I feel like he probably did, and we'll get into that way later into the show. But yeah, no, he definitely most likely did that when he worked there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
A lot
like
of
you
people,
said,
yeah.
you know what you know, and when it closed down, it's like, what's he gonna do? Go get a nice apartment and fucking
not kill people anymore.
Well, I mean, maybe you could still kill people,
Well,
but
he
the
probably thought he
reason
was doing-
that he lost his job and wasn't around there until after it shut down is because he pleaded guilty to a sexually assaulting a 9-year-old
Oh,
in 1969. He disputed the charges, but thought he was still going to catch the case, so he agreed to the plea deal to get a lighter sentencing.
pedos.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I believe that this is the dude.
So, needless to say, Andre Rand was the lead suspect in the Cropsey children disappearance,
Mhm.
or at least the disappearance of Jennifer Schweiger, because that's the only one that they knew about at this time that linked back to him. And so 2 eyewitnesses last saw Jennifer with a middle-aged man. The man had they describe it as a woman's bicycle. Me, as someone who knows bicycles, I refer to it as a step-through bicycle, step-through frame.
Yeah.
Not necessarily for women. Sometimes people have hip surgeries and they can't ride a normal bicycle.
Right.
So it's a step-through bike. That's what. But some people are ignorant and don't know about bicycles.
I call it a woman's bicycle because that way I get to say that my grandpa rode a woman's bicycle, even though it's because he was like 90 years old.
Yeah, so I'm saying
you had to have it, but like I'm still just gonna say
some people
fucking
can't
he was
straddle a
riding
crotch frame, so they need to get a step through.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a good idea, man. Who fucking? It's like,
dude, if I was drunk and my 2 options were a crotch frame and a step through, I would take the step through every time.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking like wasted. Like, how am I gonna pedal this and get up this hill wasted?
Yeah, not riding a bike then.
But
I'm falling asleep right there wherever I just I thought I should.
I'm gonna use that bike as a blanket.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're my tent. I'm gonna fucking put the kickstand up, throw my jacket over the handlebars.
No, you ever never seen how you make a tent out of a bicycle?
No.
No,
I feel like you're making this up.
No, you pop it upside down, so that it's like when you're working on the chain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you take your fucking tarp and put it over on either side of it and tie it off. 100%.
Huh.
Yep, 100%. That's how you go.
Well, now I believe it more than when you started that sentence. So
Oh yeah,
we'll give you this win.
Little bits of wisdom.
We'll give you a win on this one.
W's.
But yeah, and then he was brought in for questioning the second day of the investigation of the disappearance. But he was released because of lack of evidence. And after 4 weeks of surveillance, they were hoping to find that Jennifer was alive. And he was arrested. He was arrested at a church. And this is where I was saying, where you were saying, I forgot where I put it in my notes, but where you're saying he might have been an orderly because he wanted to strangle mentally ill people.
Mm-hmm.
So he was arrested at a church, and the police insisted that a man named Reverend Charles Musket Sr. Take Rand into his home after they had bugged his home and his church, leaving a surveillance van on the corner all day and all night. The Reverend and his family were forced to leave the community because people thought that the people of Staten Island thought that they were friends of Rand for housing him, but they were complicit in the investigation, but couldn't tell anyone about it in fear of because this is a month time,
Right.
and he's already been titled a suspect, and they couldn't tell anyone in the community in fear of the investigation being botched because it would get back to Rand.
Right.
And Reverend Musket claims that Rand had told him in his home, which is presumably in evidence because the house was bugged, admitted to kidnapping Jennifer. And as he told him, people with mental handicaps should not be alive.
Yeah. He was trying to do the Lord's work, he thought. Anyway.
But it's definitely not him.
No. Well,
yeah.
So he was perp walked out of the church, publicly shamed for the kidnapping that he 100%, I think, committed.
I'm 100% sure.
I'm 100% sure, but at the same time, the DA did some shady shit later on.
Yeah.
But I think that he 100%. I think everything that because there were like, what was it, something like 30 missing children in Staten Island in the crime spree of missing kids. I can't remember from the documentary that I watched. And it was like upwards in 30, and they only were like, we're going to investigate these 4.
Really?
So like they narrowed it down to an extremely low margin of numbers that he could be related to. And so that's where I'm like, well, he definitely admitted to doing one kidnapping on a hot mic.
Right. And this girl that he kidnapped was also mentally challenged.
Yep.
Everybody that was found.
But how does he get caught on the hot mic though?
Because the Reverend's house was wired.
Right, but so if they had that information, I mean, I don't know. I guess they never really said that they had. In the documentary, I don't think they said that they had that information that his house was wired. Did they?
Yeah.
I know he
that I
says,
sent you. Yeah.
I know he says that. I know he says that, he like talks to the priest about doing it.
They basically set him up to admit it.
But yeah, I guess I didn't hear that they hot mic'd his whole house and shit like that.
Yeah, they wired his house and the church that he got arrested from.
Damn.
Which is like a storefront church, kind of. It was like
Right.
you're walking down the street. There's a deli, there's a Applebee's, and then there's a church. And it's got like the slide down screen door. That kind of church.
No, I've never seen one of those.
Big city shit.
Yeah, I've never seen one of those.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, me either. I've seen it in videos and movies and stuff like that.
Right.
All our churches have like giant crosses, and it's like a standalone building.
Like,
But yeah, no. So one question that detectives asked themselves after the arrest was, who the fuck was Jennifer with when we were holding him for questioning for 26 hours?
She was already dead, correct?
That's an unanswered question.
Oh. Just Jennifer Aniston, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, just so we're clear.
All right.
Yeah. Doesn't know if she's dead or
But
alive.
they never found her body?
No, they did. That's the only body that they ever found.
Ah.
Mm.
Oh, but you're saying that, so she had to have been with somebody because it was so fresh when they found it that she couldn't have.
It was freshly, not freshly buried, but freshly enough that it wasn't decomposing.
Right.
But yeah, that still would take a little while. Like he could have still.
Rigor mortis sets in like 3 days, dude.
Yeah, like
Less than 3 days.
3 weeks, I think, is when decomposing like really starts kicking in.
You start getting stiff after.
But this is when they held him for questioning. They arrested him a month later. They just brought him in for questioning, and they held him for 26 hours. And
26?
Yeah.
I mean,
so
you don't need to eat for like 3 days.
Eh,
Yeah, and she was probably just sitting in the fucking basement.
you're gonna keep a Down syndrome kid from freaking out without feeding them regularly.
Chained up in the fucking
sewers,
wherever the fuck I'm hiding out at in the thing.
Boiler room of the abandoned institute.
Yep.
They probably had to learn to eat rats and shit if they were dead. It's probably their food source.
Well, one of the eyewitnesses that placed him with the girl, or didn't place him with the girl, placed him with the bicycle, that the other eyewitness placed him with the girl, was one of the detectives, and he ran into him at the superstore in the town, and he was buying jars of baby food and got on the same.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
Yeah, puts the jars of baby
So
food in the
weird.
basket of the bike that him and the girl were last seen with alive.
Yeah, I guess it would be pretty easy to force feed somebody baby food.
If you're hungry enough, I'd eat it.
I would just do an IV drip into somebody, like a food drip.
I mean, I don't really know how severe
Do you think this
was.
man in the sewers had access to an IV drip?
No, but you could just blend up a lot of like a steak and some fucking milk, like a milk steak and some jelly beans.
Shut the fuck up. Oh my god!
Just
I can't
shove it
believe you
down
just
her
said
throat.
milk steak with a straight face, looking me in the eyes. We should blend up a milk steak. You know, it's a normal thing. This is what people eat, dude. In the sewers, that's what people eat.
Milk steaks? Oh, of
Milk
course.
steak with jelly beans, dude. Like, y'all don't know.
Damn, I'm surprised this guy didn't have the same fucking diet as the last guy we talked about.
Oh
man.
yeah, the body parts.
Vampire
and shit.
Sacramento, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how severe this case was, but yeah, like baby food would be an easy way to feed someone.
Yeah.
Nutrients.
Yeah.
Like, what do you put it in a funnel and slap it down the funnel, and they're gonna have to eat it.
I mean, I don't know what the routine was, but I don't know.
A turkey baster all the way down the throat.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's if she was
Force
solely in.
She might have been with him.
That's if she was solely in his
One-on-one.
custody, though. You know that
Like,
that
what if-
depends. That if it was only him taking her.
Good call. What if she was okay? What if she thought she was safe with him? What if she was like?
That's what I'm saying too. Like we don't know that she
Right.
thought she was ever in danger.
In any danger, right.
Because you're talking a low functioning person
Right.
with a manipulative,
Carrier.
medium functioning person.
You can't say high function.
Not
With
with this
that-
guy. I mean, his first defense case, the way he walked down those steps drooling on himself, that's fucking big brain.
Well, maybe he did that on purpose so he could not go to prison and go to fucking a psych ward.
Oh, of course
It didn't
feel
work.
it.
I agree with you. I think he did. And a lot of people have speculated. Even
Was
his
that
own,
around?
Even his own sister
Was-
speculated that he was trying to manipulate the judicial system by being like, "I'm a low functioning individual myself. I can't defend myself. I can't stand by the actions that I have committed." And he just walks down the steps drooling on himself. And they put him in the police car. This is where it really fucks him up too. They put him in the police car. He's like drooling on himself, and they literally have to fold his legs over and put his arm in the car. He's ragdolling and shit. And then he goes to his next court hearing. He walks off the bus. He's like, "They're framing me. Look for the real killer. They're framing me." It's like you're not the same person from the last time we fucking saw you.
So
Right.
the video we were talking about where it shows all the kids inside of that, I think that's the video that they told him, we have this video footage of this place, and they were like, the detectives were like, "Do you want to see it?" And he's like, "Fuck yeah, I want to see it. Like, that'd be sick."
His exact words. Fuck yeah, that'd be
Fuck
sick.
yeah, that'd be sick. And
He threw up a fucking okay sign.
they bring him up to a hotel room, and they show him the video, and I think they said it was during the video footage or towards the end. That's when his face just goes blank, and he just starts drooling while watching the film. Like, he's watching the film, sitting on the bed, and they said he just starts fucking going numb and starts drooling and shit.
Weird.
So it's like, it's kind of like, was that the start of him saying like, "Oh shit, like they're on to me, I need to play fucking dumb"? Like, I don't know.
He took playing dumb to a whole
He
level.
took, you as they say in Tropic Thunder, not my words, you never go full retard.
I told you it wasn't, but it was.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Oh no.
He's gonna be so mad at you.
Yes.
Fuck.
I didn't even want to say. I was like, that's probably the only way I'd ever say that word. That's crazy. You never go full retard. Wow. Wow. I can't believe it. That was awesome, AJ. I applaud that word of the day. That was very.
I legit, before you got here, told Dylan that the word of the day was not retard.
It was kind of weird to me though that with all this racial tensions and stuff, getting away from subject, with all this racial tensions and stuff going on, the two movies that nobody's really even batted an eye at are White Chicks and Tropic Thunder. Those are two really weird movies if you look at it. White skin,
Doing
black
whiteface,
shit.
fucking
Whiteface,
becoming a girl, fucking. But I don't think it's bad. It's art, man.
It's funny as hell.
I think it is funny and it's art, and
I just think it's weird.
There's
Nothing
worse
will ever
things.
top the dance scene from White Chicks.
Right.
That
Hell
scene
yeah, dude.
fucking kills me.
Dope
Yeah.
as fuck.
When I was a kid, I was like, "Are you fucking
Those
serious?
bitches are breakdancing." You're like, oh wait, that's two black men.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's there's the people who like to complain about stuff like that, like blackface and stuff. I'm like, look, man, I know that's your fight right now, but kids are being stolen and raped. So why don't you just take a seat real quick? Let's fucking help these kids out, and then we'll go back to figuring out what's over the limit or not.
Old Canada, dude.
Yeah, like when you're doing like
Shit.
shoe shine darkness on your face.
Yeah.
That's one thing, but like there's people losing their careers over wearing the wrong bronzer and shit like that right now.
Yeah.
It's like we need to take a step back.
Right. Oh fuck! Cheers, everyone. Grab
Cheers.
a shot.
For those new to the show, I pick a word every day, every Monday, and when one of my boys says it, or if a guest says it first, we take a shot.
Oh, fuck.
Got the idea watching a Pee Wee Herman skit. That's where the Conky 2000 comes from.
Yeah, I don't
God,
remember the
dude.
last time I've seen that. I think it was on like I want to almost say
Robot Chicken.
I was gonna say like Adult Swim or some
Robot
weird
Chicken,
shit.
dude. That's literally the soundbite that I have is from the Robot Chicken skit, where the cowboy walks in, he's like, "Hey, Pee Wee, what's going on?" He goes, "Hey, Cowboy Dan, how are you doing?" He goes, "Not too good. My dad has cancer." And it's like, "Oh, it's Conky 2000." He's like, "You said the word of the day. It's cancer."
Incredible. We are recreating.
It took a lot of editing to get the Pee Wee Herman voice out of that.
Yeah.
That's why it skips around a little bit.
Yeah, so we have him fucked up. And then like we said, other trials later, he just seems just not
Completely
that.
complacent.
They said after he was drooling and just fucked out of his mind, they said that he was like that for a couple more days. The guy said that he was like that for like 3 more days. Was fucking just out of his mind.
Probably ate some ketamine.
I don't know. What if he just fucking wasn't like in a trance kind of shit?
Could be.
And they were just like, whenever he saw fucking mentally handicapped people, he just started drooling and had to do his fucking
Crazy,
Kalima.
dude. That's what I'm saying. Like we have never seen him go around. I don't think mentally challenged people. And then the one time that I think that might be the only time we have an idea of what it could be fake, but it also that's the only time we know of seeing him watching mentally challenged kids and he just goes brain dead and starts drooling. It could be, real. I think it's fake. If you ask me, I think he was bullshitting it. I think he was trying to just play
100%.
the part. He does a fucking terrible job. He just looks fucking. I don't know.
The people that click on the YouTube video will see because the video of him or picture of him, a still shot of him drooling on himself is the thumbnail.
I don't know. Okay, so I saw that thumbnail, but I don't know if that's any worse than the Golden State Killer's hearing or whatever a couple months ago when he's sitting there with the fucking face shield on.
Yeah,
yeah, right.
But so his mom actually, Rand's mom, his mother was forcefully put into a mental institution in Long Island, New York, called Plymouth State Institute, and that institute was the blueprints of that were used to build Willowbrook.
Oh.
And it had the same tunnel system and everything.
So this was beforehand?
Yeah, we're talking like I think like the 40s or 50s, 40s or 50s.
Okay.
And he would visit his mom all the time so he knows that building.
Oh yeah, I bet.
He knows the underground tunnels.
I bet, dude. When I was a kid, shit, I would be fucking snooping around everything, dude.
Yeah, and so when they found Jennifer Schreiger's body, it was 150 yards from his last campsite, which was probably like 200 yards away from one of the wings of Willowbrook.
Well, you never shit where you eat.
Yeah, but you can shit 150 yards from where you eat.
Yeah, exactly. You always got to bury it a little bit.
Nah, you don't have to bury it.
So there's a foundation called Jennifer's Friends. They're Friends of Jennifer, and they still to this day go out to that institute and dig because he buried her in a shallow grave. Yeah. They randomly found her because some dude found I think they said it was 3 clay balls. Like
he
balls.
He marked a grave or something.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, hey, I found something over here." They dig it up. That's where they find the arm and the legs sticking up. Like literally buried her in the fucking somersault.
No shit.
And
she was probably alive.
No, she was not alive. she was something, but she was not alive.
Okay.
But yeah, she was found. Her arm and leg were found first, and yeah, that was that.
It's crazy to think that that's what. And they were looking at all certain areas. They're checking things like, oh, does this dirt look fucked up all over the woods? Like everyone's
what they need to do is bring sonar or not. What's that shit where they can sonar the earth? Ever seen that shit?
I don't know, but I know they talked about finding the bodies.
Someone on the exact other side of the earth to like send the signal back to you.
No,
that'd be more efficient.
I think that the guy who was talking about using his dog. He said that one of the cases that he uncovered was like a guy who was dead for like the dog found a guy who was dead for like 20 years or something.
No shit.
Yeah, but that was a mob. Yeah, it was a mob killing, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
But
his dog was like top notch, and it's like, how are you not finding these kids?
Right. Finding a dead mob kid.
like it's easier to bring them to the island than it is to take them off the island.
But think about this. Think about burying someone right off of a trail or something. It's like when you watch them walking in the interview, or not interview, but in the documentary anyways, and he's walking around with the dog. He's walking on a leash from me to you saying, come on, boy. And I'm like, well,
let the thing off.
I know. I was gonna say. I was like, yeah, like let the dogs will go.
At least get a 12-foot retractable leash. Like, come on, dude.
No, retractable leashes are horrible for dogs, actually.
Yeah, Piper's way too used to hers, and now I put her on her paracord leash, and she fucking tries to rip my arm off, but I'm too strong for her to rip my arm off, and she just fucking yips back like, rip.
That's something that blew my mind watching him with the dog, and it puts into perspective because so the way that they found this girl, they had so many people turn up, but you look at some of the other, maybe like another killing that happened, and they were like, well, we didn't have this kind of turnout. From what I got from it, that we didn't have this kind of turnout. They said we didn't have a turnout. We felt that, in his words, I think the brother of Holly was like, felt like she was just a lost wallet,
Yeah.
And like no one wanted to.
He goes like, when my sister went missing, it was like someone lost their wallet.
Right. That hit. Yeah, it was. And I was like, damn, like actually, that's like, if you did lose your kid, people are, thank God we have shit now. Like,
I mean, even now it takes fucking forever to find these kids. Like that dude that went missing from LaPorte City or whatever, like last year.
Yeah.
That took like 6-7 months to find that kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we think of all the money that we spend, that like our government spends. Do you think all the bullshit that we spend money on could be spent for just overhead drone? I know we talked about this before, not wanting to be monitored, but what about just in like school zones or something that I don't know.
That's why I'm saying someone invents
if it wasn't a corrupt government, if it wasn't our current government doing it, if it was like we actually finally have a good government.
If it could be your parents and they put a tracking device in you, okay.
Okay, so here's my idea. I've pitched it out on the show before. Someone comes up with a tracking chip like you put in your dog, but it expires at 18 years.
Yeah.
You put it in an infant's ear.
It's like birth control, but sometimes that shit expires early.
Or just like in whatever the tooth that comes out usually last. Put it in that
wisdom teeth.
Yeah, put them in your wisdom teeth.
But yeah, and I'm just saying it expires. If you
Yeah.
can prove that it expires at
Yeah.
X amount of time, that's the only type of government tracking I'm okay with.
And that's not shouldn't even be government. It should be your
Right. I
parents.
wouldn't say not government tracking.
Well, yeah, but what are you gonna have like a login? Like your login can get hacked. I just been hacked.
Right.
I just been hacked recently.
Think about that.
Oh,
Think
dude,
about that.
My
Think
Disney
about
Plus
kids.
got hacked.
I mean, think about dude. Government's favorite dream would be to be able to hack in
Oh,
and just
yeah.
know where every kid is at. Oh, look at this kid. He's off the grid. Like no one knows where he's just like way out here for some
Someone
reason.
call Laura Silsby. We got a kid that's ready to get taken.
Yeah, to
Dude.
get saved and brought to the
I
church.
saw this
I
fucking
think.
Get saved. He's going to Mexico.
dude. I saw this fucking this photo or whatever that showed everybody that has been involved in the FBI in the last like 10 years is no longer in the FBI. Everybody has been fired or quit or disenfranchised.
I didn't know that there was a mass quitting in the FBI in the last 6 years,
Yeah, no.
especially.
Well, a lot of it actually happened after that Lisa Page and Peter Strzok thing.
Oh yeah.
So that'd be the last.
They were all like, "Oh my god, my wife's
years.
gonna find out I'm cheating on her. I have to quit the FBI."
I'm gonna see if I fucking have that saved.
That'd be the last 2 years because the Lisa Page and Peter Strzok.
Yeah, they've been fired. Okay, so James Comey fired, which is the FBI
James
director.
Comey.
Comey fired.
I'd call him a commie.
Jim Riderick,
Commie
chief of
bastard.
staff, fired. Deputy director Andrew McAbee fired.
Was it Maccabee or McCabe?
Whatever.
Prime
Deputy
McCabe.
director Mark whatever fired. Special counsel Lisa Page fired. NSA EAD Michael Steinbeck fired. John Kolinsky fired. AD counterintelligence fired. Removed. Randy Coleman removed.
Do we think they're fired because they're too hot, or because they're finally like, "Wow, these guys are doing bad things. Let's get rid of them"?
Hey man, I've said it once on the show and I'll say it again. Lisa Page looks like Spider-Man's aunt in the new reenactment, not the old one. Not the old one,
okay.
Aunt May. She looks like the new Aunt May.
Yep.
And she's
Pretty hot.
She's pretty hot.
Also, all the FBI attorneys have also been fired.
Doesn't surprise me.
It's probably from our show. We probably are reporting so well that they
We're
got
doing
fired.
such a good job.
Because of our show. It makes sense. I think it makes sense. We're making moves. We're making the world a better
If I
place.
ever die, it was the FBI or aliens.
That's
There's
a
Peter
tattoo.
Strzok.
I'll get that tattooed on my ass, man. If I ever die, it was the FBI.
If you find me dead, it's the FBI. If you see this tattoo, the FBI killed me.
If my body's found in a barrel of hay, it was the CIA.
So stupid. I can't. No, just stop. Just stop
I'm gonna
right
I'm gonna tattoo that on you when you're fucking drunk someday. I'm gonna ask you to give you this cool dragon tattoo, and that's
Damn.
gonna be it.
You know my weakness. Dragon tattoos.
I know your weakness.
If I was the girl with the dragon tattoo, I wouldn't be here.
What if it was the girl with the dragon tattoo, but the tattoo was done by like some cheap, shitty artist and just looked like a fucking?
Oh, worm.
It looked like
An earthworm.
what's Trogdor? It looked like
The
Trogdor.
Burninator, dude. Trogdor.
I'd get a Trogdor tattoo,
Oh, dude.
maybe.
I'll draw it for you. Pretty dope Trogdor artist.
So, after the longest or largest criminal trial in Staten Island history, Rand was convicted of the kidnapping, but because of lack of physical evidence, he was not convicted of murder for the kidnapping, innocent of murder of Jennifer Weiger.
Yeah.
And this is where they focused on the four other cases of missing kids.
Because if you look at these kids, she's right. She's the most current, right? They go back and look.
Then
at,
they go back.
Yeah,
and look.
yeah. Okay.
So then they look at Thaisa Jackson, 10-year-old girl with learning disabilities, went missing 4 years before Jennifer. Henry or Hank Gaffirio, he was 21, had the IQ of 15-year-old. disappeared 3 years before Jennifer.
Looked like Mick Jagger.
Yeah, looked like Mick
I
Jagger.
guess. Yeah, that's what one of the guys said. I thought that was funny in his accent. He's like, man, the kid.
He
I know
looked
the,
like
I know
just
the
Mick
kid.
Jagger.
Looked like Mick Jagger. And I was
Yeah,
like,
he looked exactly like Mick Jagger.
I was like, hey, man.
I
like,
know that guy. He came to my store a lot. He looked like Mick Jagger.
Yeah, I knew that guy. Yeah. Sorry, I'm botching the accents.
You just gotta visit. You just gotta visit.
I think I gotta live there for a few years. Or take an
Couple
online
months.
class.
Months.
I'm gonna take an online class.
Couple months. You can do a New York accent if you.
Hey, if anyone's
visit for a
listening,
month or so.
if anyone's listening and wants to teach me some fucking, I want to hear lingo straight from the mouth of someone from fucking Brooklyn or Long Island.
Fucking one of my favorite. So, what do you think of when you hear the word herb? Like you're like if I were to be like you're an herb, what do you think?
I'd say, dude, I want to say I'm not like an urban spice kind of guy. Like, don't call me a fucking I don't know.
Herb.
Or if it wasn't food related, I would say just some fucking old guy named Herb. I don't know. Weed.
So in New York,
weed would probably actually be a good, text your buddy, dude, I'm out of herb. I need herb.
Oh, dude, I need some
Mike,
Italian herb.
Mike,
I need some herb so my mom doesn't find out.
What would you think if I was like, Mike, you're being an herb right now?
Oh, I'm being a fucking total fucking square, bro.
Herb means poser.
Yeah, like a square, bro.
Just like you're not being yourself. You're a poser. You're an herb.
Well, I mean, what if I need an Italian herb and cheese?
That Dylan was just asking me about.
Yeah, we're not.
He was talking about lingo
we're
from
not
New York.
Food, okay.
Herb means like.
I tried to think of an herb. What would oregano? Or is that an herb?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not oregano, so I must be fake then.
Damn, bro.
I'm not oregano. I'm ordinary.
Yeah. I'm fucking real, dude. I ain't no oregano.
So, Mike, when you were leaving, we were talking about. So he got convicted of the kidnapping, but not the murder of Jennifer Weiger. And then they focused on 4 new cases spanning 15 years. The first was Thaisa Jackson, a 10-year-old girl with learning disabilities that went missing 4 years before Jennifer. Then there was Henry, a.k.a. Hank Jaffario.
Mick Jagger.
Yeah, he looked like Mick Jagger. He looked like Mick Jagger. But he was 21, but he had the IQ of a 15-year-old. Disappeared 3 years before Jennifer. And Holly Hughes, who went missing 6 years before Jennifer. Fun fact, Henry, a.k.a. Hank, was in the news footage of the disappearance
I was just going to say
Holly.
that. Yeah, dude, disappearance of Holly. Hank is
front and
standing
center. Hank's just like right behind the girl, like, hey, what up?
And like the newspaper or what? Like
video,
on the
like
news.
on news,
On
like
the news
channel.
channel.
He's standing behind the reporter. You can see him kind of
Bro,
And he's like, where am I? What's
Yeah.
going on? He's like,
a little bit. Such
there's
a bad fucking movie, bro.
Yeah, well, it's literally a scary movie, but in real life.
Ow.
Sorry.
It's such a bad movie. Why don't you flip me on the other side of that, bro?
Yeah, let's do it. Technical difficulties.
Tactical.
But yeah, no, that shit blew my mind. Like the detective brought it out, and I don't know if this was for show.
It was the documentary I sent you. It was the people that were doing the documentary showed the detective, and then he was like, "I've never noticed that before."
I thought the one detective was showing it and pointing to the guy, saying, "Yep, there it is," and the other detective was like, "What?"
Maybe I just remember.
But-
I thought it was the
But I also
documentary.
I feel
guy.
like maybe that sounds right because I thought it was weird that the one detective was like, "Yep, there he is," and the other detective didn't know about it, and I'm like, that doesn't add up right.
You guys were
just
terrible
didn't-
partners.
Right.
Terrible.
Terrible. But it also goes to show how little fucking people look for, evidence back in the day. They didn't have a lot to work with, so I'm like, whatever.
When did
but
fucking DNA testing come out?
that was when fucking
90 something, right? Or,
I don't know. That was
Well,
with the
blood
Green River
blood
Killer.
testing came out in the 80s.
Okay.
Wasn't it the Green River Killer when it was like actual DNA
like,
testing?
I think it was like 94 when they could be like, Well, this guy has
9.4% DNA of the same killer.
I'm pretty sure the Green River Killer was the first
DNA
tested killer.
Huh.
Because they used stuff, but like fingerprints and shit. But yeah, that was the first time they were like
they'd be like, "We have the same blood type, and your fingerprint was at this place, so you're the killer." That's basically how they did it back in the day. But then I'm pretty sure it was like 94.
I don't know.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Caught
I could easily
shit.
look it up in my
I got
notes.
that
But
RH negative.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, but fuck it. Thank
so
God.
Holly Hughes, 6 years before Jennifer, and then Alicia Perifia, who went missing 15 years before Jennifer.
That was the 72.
Yeah, 1972. And none of their bodies were found. That would have been when he got out of the jail for having sex with the 9-year-old.
What's 1972?
Which we don't even know if this 9-year-old that he had sex with was one of the fucking patients at the hospital that he was an orderly.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't.
Like we don't know
So
because it's a minor, so it's not on record.
Right.
Also, someone that can't sign a waiver to have her information put out there.
So I saw 1972 is when old dude did the documentary on that place.
Oh yeah, Geraldo
Yeah.
Rivera.
That's the year he did that, and it was showing. Oh, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, that was his first expose after college, I think.
Yeah.
Then he was the one that cracked open Al Capone's safe, which
Yeah.
had nothing inside of it.
Really?
It was a 12-hour newscast of him being like, we're almost through, and then they open it and there's literally nothing inside of it. It's fucking hilarious.
That's lame.
There's a video called like Geraldo Rivera's biggest journalistic mistakes, and that's one of the ones on there is like a top 10 or top 8.
I would have planted something in there.
I think the top number 1 was like signing with Fox News and just getting beat the fuck out of every day for
having opposite
10 years.
views. Oh, I'm sorry, you have an opposite view. Get fucked on.
Well, it's just like 6 people shouting at him all the time.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
That's what I can't stand watching that because whenever someone who actually tries to say something, just instant read.
And it's the
Well, yeah,
same
they also
both
book
sides, bro.
Yeah, well, they also book people that are just like, oh, you have this organization called Lesbians for Federalism. I'm gonna have you on my show then. It's like
It doesn't even make any sense.
yeah, well, I just it's like the first 3 words that came to my head. Lesbians because I like lesbians.
Oh, that's
Federalism because that's the first thing I thought about when I thought about government.
Lesbian,
And then four
federalism,
came in between.
Well, I got you.
3 and 5. Obviously.
Obviously.
Wait, you guys aren't lesbians for federalism?
I'm trying to be, dude.
I got kicked out, Dad.
Yeah, I got kicked out.
I was just not big enough.
I sent them a picture of my chest, and they said, those have to be fake. We're not accepting you. Sorry, I don't know.
Go ahead.
Did it start at your dick root, your picture? Just like his like belly, chest. That's what I would send them. I don't know.
They only are getting nudes.
So, yeah, these investigations opened after his first, I guess, successful prosecution. And after 17 years in prison, he returned to Staten Island to face a charge of kidnapping Holly Ann Hughes. And Rand was seen by an eyewitness on Holly Ann's street the day she went missing. And it's rumored that this is where I told you earlier, like it's like gets really weird where it's like maybe he did all of these things, maybe he didn't.
Yeah.
So the DA was retiring that year, and the case was rushed, and the DA was trying to. It's rumored that the DA was trying to close the investigation to put his final case at rest before he left office.
makes so much sense.
Like retire on a win.
Like
right?
you're not. Yeah, people in law
and he was
enforcement.
young. Like he was young retiring. So like he could have had like a political.
I'll tell you this.
Political agenda after that. Who
knows? If you go to jail and you start reading a book, you better damn finish that book before you get out, or you'll go back to jail to finish that book. That's big fucking. I won't say conspiracy, but it's what do they call it when you believe in black cats and shit? Superstition.
Superstitious.
It's a big superstition that if you are reading a book in jail and you get out before you're done reading that book, you're gonna go back in to finish reading that book.
Huh. Well, I shouldn't go to jail because I'm really bad at finishing books that I started, so that would not be good. That would be awful. That would be actually terrible.
So Rand, at the start of this new trial, Rand was up for parole in 4 years. And fun fact is that his aunt lived in the second floor of the same apartment building that Holly Hughes was living in, where she was abducted from. So this feeds into the theory that he might have had nothing to do with the disappearance of Holly Hughes.
What?
Nothing. He was just visiting his aunt that day. But Holly walked down the street to the Port Richmond Deli, where Rand
just
was
down the street.
Yeah, where Rand was reportedly sitting in his VW Bug, just waiting for her.
I bet.
And one witness said that she saw him screaming, dragging her in the car, never said anything to anyone until 20 plus years later. One other witness says that wasn't the girl because the deli guy remembers her because she went there to buy a bar of soap and she was 5 cents short. And so the deli owner wouldn't let him sell her the bar of soap because she was 5 cents short. And she, this other girl came out and she's like, no, that was me. I was the girl that was 5 cents short that day.
No shit.
So it's just like a bunch of weird shit around this case. But he was convicted of that kidnapping as well, giving him 25 to life on serial kidnapping charges.
Yeah, well, he just seems like he fit the part.
Well, I think he 100% did the first one for sure.
Yeah. And
don't know about the second one. But
so if
he pleaded guilty to fucking raping a 9-year-old insane asylum patient, like
we don't know if she's an insane asylum patient.
Well, I mean, she was there, and it's a 1960s school for the mentally unfit.
How long did
unless it's fucking Xavier school he worked there for like 2 years.
Oh, so he wasn't there long.
Then he got arrested and convicted of molesting one of the students.
Yes, and then like right after the school closed, he came back, right? Is that
right after the school closed? He got out of jail for raping.
Right, he got out of jail right as the school closed, right?
Yes,
and then came back 1987. Bam, hit this first.
No, not 1987. He came back in. When the fuck did he get out of jail? I can't remember. It was 1970 something. It was 1971, I think.
And when he was working there afterwards,
he did 4 years because he pleaded guilty, even though he said he didn't do it. And then he was supposedly just homeless around the area.
Oh, so he wasn't working. So he worked at that place prior to.
From 66 to 68.
Okay.
Got arrested in 69.
How old was this dude in fucking 87? Goddamn.
I don't know, like 20.
No, he had to been like 40.
Maybe. I don't remember.
Okay.
I can look it up real quick.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's like, I was just thinking, like when he was doing this shit in the 60s to that first girl, in 87, he must have been fucking like 50 years old, right? Something like that. Because you'd probably be an orderly when
he definitely did not age well.
yeah.
He
is a rough-looking individual.
He's a rough-looking guy. I mean, drugs definitely have to be a part of what happened to his face, right? Like, I'm not.
Well, maybe that and all the people in prison beating the shit out.
But it's weird. His face looks so fucked. But then sometimes in his hearings, when you'd see him, I guess he didn't look that fucked up, but like the pictures they would show of him just looking fucking like his face was just fucked by drugs, like mutilated by drugs, like just the fucking tucked in.
He looked like he
mouth
definitely
and-
smoked crack.
Yeah, he has the crack power. Everyone knows about crack power.
The power crack.
God, I can't stop typing in Crosby. I don't know how to spell his name.
It's chop suey, dude. It's Cropsey, which, like I said, watching this, I was waiting for them to explain Cropsey, and I'm like,
Yeah, he looked better when he got out of jail, or when he was in jail,
right?
than when he went into jail.
Oh yeah, no, exactly.
I mean, he was also eating baby food, so
yeah. I mean, if he was eating the baby food, which I mean brings us
He
to the
could have
point.
been. He could have been eating this baby food.
I don't know, but it brings you to the point. I mean, how many kids did we know now that go missing? Think about how many went missing back in the day, and think about, and like we said, they don't know if this girl was solely in his possession while they took him.
Well,
like
so he was born in 1944. So that means when he molested
it was like 20s.
25 years old when he molested the 9-year-old.
Yep, and then he was 20. He was probably like 50 years old when in the 1870s or
1980s.
Yeah, 1980s.
1870s.
1870s.
Well, in the 1870s, he was negative 40 years old.
Dylan was kind of, I don't know, I just kind of put two and two together right here. But, most of these mental patients, I know my neighbor had, behind me they had to pull his teeth out because he was biting people, biting himself and stuff like that. And they had to take his nails out and shit. So what if this girl didn't have any teeth because of that reason? And that's why he was getting the baby food.
Could be.
Because she couldn't fucking chew actual food.
That
makes kind of sense.
Well, because I'm not sure about how baby food, but I know baby stuff now is expensive as fuck. Like, was it expensive as shit back in the day? I mean, or was it just like
mashed peas?
Yeah, like was it just cheaper?
My mom used to just make fucking baby food for me. She said
it's called breast milk.
Well, but
they make it naturally.
She would just do it in the blender and just fucking.
She put her titties in the blender.
I wish, dude. That'd be fucking an interesting topic.
Anyway,
one thing. So, titties in the blender.
Titties in a blender. I'd play for that band.
So, while he was incarcerated for 17 years, he had a very interesting cellmate or a cell block mate. Someone that you guys are gonna recognize the name, David Berkowitz, also known as the Son of Sam, also known as AKA the Son of Sam, AKA the Clint Eastwood of Manhattan. That's a nickname I gave him, and if you don't like it, go fuck yourself.
So
cell block it's not it's cell block.
It wasn't a cellmate. It's just like
they were in the same open area.
Pod. What it is. The same cell pod is what it is.
But we're talking the 60s, like Johnny Cash, like Walk the Line, like Cell Block, San Quentin kind of.
I mean, all right. So anybody that's not been in jail or anything like that, you get like fucking everybody gets a room. You might share it with somebody else or 4 people, but fucking you lock down. Everybody goes to that room, and there's like fucking maybe 60, 100 people per fucking pod.
I mean, sharing it. I wonder if him
sounds like San Quentin.
So it was him with David Berkowitz.
Cash. I feel like I know what jail's like.
It was David Berkowitz. I wonder if they ever actually communicated with each other.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
I'm sure they did, but like I wonder.
It's like, you kill kids, I kill kids. What's up, dude?
Right.
I only kill retarded kids, though.
Yeah, wouldn't that be funny if he's like, I'm gonna kick your ass, man. I'm trying to cleanse the world from kids with disabilities. Like, you're killing people? That's fucked up, bro.
And Dave Berkowitz is like, you're killing people because you want to. I'm killing people because my neighbor's dog told me to.
And he was in what was the other guy's name? Do you have it?
I didn't care.
I think I have it.
The kid killer.
I was gonna.
His name was literally the kid killer, and I was like, "Fuck that guy."
Joel Steinberg was like some kid killer. So
the kid killer
was in the same block as David Berkowitz and fucking They're all like, why would you want to leave?
And
Wouldn't you
Cropsey.
just be like, oh my god, this is family?
Well, there's probably maximum security. Da da da.
They couldn't kiss, like all that stuff.
I mean, minimum security
No
is
butt
one
stuff.
thing, dude. Yeah, but maximum security, there's no butt stuff. Why would you can't even drop the soap? What's the point?
right. Dropping the soap does nothing for you.
I mean, when it's that wide open, it doesn't do anything anyway. But
Yeah.
You're gonna kick the field goal, or you're gonna fucking bitch out. You know.
But yeah, so I don't know. This guy is fucking just has to be the one who did it, and it's we still don't know. We don't have. I don't think unless we have the recordings of him saying he did it, which I don't remember. I feel like.
From the bugs, from him being bugged.
I guess I know, but it comes out the
That's
priest.
the one. The kidnapping case that's the only thing they were ever able to incarcerate him on. But somehow they incarcerated him on the kidnapping of Hughes.
Oh, okay.
The Hughes girl.
Okay.
And it was just off eyewitness testimony, and there's a lot of people that are like, oh, like I don't know. Defendants of him saying, well, there's no way to have a fair jury when he's been publicly accused for this long in Staten Island. There's no way that anyone in Staten Island doesn't have an opinion on it.
Okay, but then listen to this. You were telling me he was a celly with all these other dudes. How many fucking serial killers were going on at the same time in New York? It could have been any of these other dudes.
Yeah, that's why they only focused on the 4 linked crimes.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
because they were like 60 plus.
There was
and they
9
down
years.
To 4.
9 years from the first
15.
Well, 72 to 81.
Oh, from the first 2, or the first one and the second one.
Yeah,
that they thought it was him.
Right. Think of it, 9 years and he ain't gonna do shit. Fuck. Yeah, fucking right. I feel like he would be out there.
Yeah, there's definitely more that they could have linked him to.
Right.
But they focused on 4 cases that they thought that they might be able to bring him down on after the first one.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's
what sorry, real quick. What vodka is that?
Tito's.
Oh, Tito's. It was whatever the branding on the top was stuff. Confusing the
it's
fuck out of me.
Vodka for a dog lover.
That's dog lover. I was like, what the fuck? Vodka for a dog is all I read, and I was like, huh?
AJ's drinking dog.
He's drinking dog vodka.
I couldn't bring myself to drink beer today.
I thought about it too. That's why I got some nice, beautiful sours because I was like,
too much last night or what?
No, Saturday. My stepbrother's 21st birthday.
Oh.
Are you doing a trio of like bubbly fucking and Red Bull or just?
No, the Red Bull's been gone.
May I try some, sir? May I try your vodka for dogs?
Vodka with some buble.
So good. I'd drink that any day over fucking beer. Fills me up. I drank like 15 Blue Moons yesterday, and
woof.
Yeah, just man, your stomach never felt so full.
You used to drink
I've been in that boat.
Truly, not the Trulies, the Henrys, and all those.
Yeah, all the seltzers, which those
used to be. You're like, I'm on my like 25th one right now.
Yeah, I know. Oh my god, you can really take those down. You really can. You're hydrating while you're dehydrating, bro.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so where are we
at?
So
this guy, Henry, aka Hank, was the 21-year-old with the IQ of a 15-year-old.
Yep.
The guy that looked like Mick Jagger. He was reportedly missing in the exact same neighborhood as Hughes, like a block away.
Oh yeah. I was visiting my grandmother or my aunt.
She went missing on this side of the corner store, and he went missing on the other side of it,
a
block away. And so Andre, he was reported to have rented out a bus and he kidnapped a mass group of people and took them to play hide and seek
Oh man,
at a park at night.
This shit, yo.
And little did they know they were being kidnapped. But he found out that wasn't the way to do it, so he took his steps. I only threw this in my notes for Dylan.
Wait, so what?
He found out that wasn't the way to kidnap kids, so he took his steps. That's what I literally just typed in my notes the exact quote from the guy.
Oh,
like, we thought we was playing hide and seek.
The guy, it's so funny. Is
Oh, no
Thompson?
shit.
He's like,
Yeah,
he's looking for people who knew him, and the guy's like, this guy Thompson, this guy, and he's like, yeah, man, we were, you know, this guy took us on a bus, and we're just kids, and he takes us to the airport,
to the Newark
Newark airport,
which is a state away.
yeah,
Oh,
and
shit.
like, and it's like, and they
Well, I
wouldn't
mean,
let us in.
not very far
So
from Staten.
he
Okay.
takes us to a park, and we playing hide and seek and running around in the dark. And do you have the exact quote? I don't.
And I was like, I didn't realize we were getting kidnapped.
What
Damn.
do you have? What he says after? He's like, I didn't realize we were getting kidnapped.
And
It
then
had
I
not
re-
occurred to me, or some
and
shit.
he goes, and I think he realized that wasn't the right way to do it. So he took us back home, and then he did his steps.
Bro, that was the
Bro,
funniest
it's
part of the
so
whole
fucking
funniest
funny.
part of the whole documentary.
Okay, so the thing about it is, he's trying to take him to the airport. Do you think he was trying to fucking traffic those kids or what?
No, I think he
Okay.
just didn't know what the fuck he was doing.
Okay. Well, bus. I'm gonna get
give
a bus
me
full
give
of
me
kids.
1 minute. I'm gonna find the clip.
It is so fucking good. But yeah, no, I just don't think that he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
But
But all those kids weren't fucking mentally challenged, though, right?
not a single one.
Exactly. So that,
I have
that
to
doesn't fit
sign
his MO.
in to confirm my age. What?
You know, that don't fit his MO very well.
That's true. Very true.
Could have been some other dude.
This guy's a very distinct face.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, kind of looks like fucking. Who's that dude that plays fucking
Looks like that
the
Clint
Fantastic Four, the rock dude in Fantastic Four?
Ben.
Yeah, it looks like Ben, but like not in rock form.
The Rock.
I was gonna say it looks like the guy that Clint Eastwood shot in The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Like, but he's kept aging after he got shot. Like he didn't decompose. He just kept aging.
I
He was just like dead but aging.
I can see it.
Yeah, I don't know. But so later investigations after everything, like after his next sentencing under the was it the what the fuck was her name? Oh my god, I'm blanking. The second girl that they convicted of him for, Hughes, yeah. After that, they reinvestigated the tunnel system, and they found a completely like they had clotheslines, like cleaned
yeah.
rooms,
Yeah,
like homeless society underneath the city.
yeah. Subterranean civilizations. They're out there. The ant people.
And people in Long Island, or not Long Island, in Staten Island, described the group, the people that live in the underground system, as in the Willowbrook as the cult. They called him the homeless Jim Jones.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Who do you think was the leader?
Well, they think that it was Rand.
Really?
Yeah. They think that, and that's where they think, oh, well, when he was being detained by the police for 26 hours 30 years ago over the disappearance of Jennifer, like,
He was.
they're like,
or
oh,
the
she was
first one.
just with
The other homeless people.
with one of the other homeless
All right,
people.
so you know, when he was playing dumb, and then he was like, it was somebody else. Da, 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 da. I think that there was somebody else on top of him, and he was just trying to play dumb at first, you know, and then he was like, well, this ain't gonna work out. I gotta fucking try to spit out old dude or whatever that was doing it first. Maybe there was another person down there.
Dude, there were a lot of people down there.
Maybe it was a fucking.
They're talking about like women's, kids, men's clothes.
Maybe it was something that was eating kids. Let's get really weird with it. What if it was a fucking like reptilian?
It made me think about. Made me think of the government, bro. I mean, what a way. Who's your like? It reminds me of Sherlock Holmes in the British BBC. Make of it how a lot of his sources are homeless people who are just like on the street, and he gives them phones to just be like his fucking like underground crew. Well, wouldn't it be easy for the government to be like, all right, well, you guys are homeless and make no money. So, we'll pay you, money to fucking steal kids for us.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound,
sense.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe not.
What if the headline has to be homeless man tries to accuse government of stealing kids and asking like.
Yeah. Just like the people that took pictures of Area 51s. Crazy guys.
Man, I can't. It's
Air
such
quotes.
a long documentary. It's so hard to find the exact moment.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely a goodie.
What else you got?
I mean, I don't have a whole lot more on it.
Yeah, I mean, his defendants still say they're like, well, they just
Presume his innocence.
Trying to presume his innocence, and I'm like,
So is he still alive?
Yeah, 25 to life right now.
How old
to get
would
out.
he be?
I thought he was to get out in 2030 or up for parole in 2037.
Well, he's fucking.
Yeah.
You said he was born 1940. This dude's almost dead.
Yeah, he'll be 93 when he gets parole or something like that. 93, 94.
Man, this is so sad. I can't find that
That
clip.
was interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's wild because he's like, it's like a killer, but it has such a different fashion to it.
It is.
It's not about. It's like we've heard about people killing like strippers or fucking like prostitutes
Or
and
just
stuff like
random ass
that,
people.
or women who have put bad effects, but to target specially challenged kids, like.
I just thought it'd be a fun episode to try out just because it's like debunking an urban legend, which is kind of like what we do with conspiracy theories. Is either we
Like people who say
when my dad the other day was telling me, he's like, yeah, I've listened to you guys' show and I feel like you guys debunk more conspiracy theories than you do like, oh, there's lizard people living under the Denver International Airport kind of shit. I was like, yeah, like I agree with that, but like it's
lizard people.
But people who create their whole career off of that would be different than us because they stick to lizard people. And God damn it, they're not going to stop until these lizard people are brought to justice.
Right,
Yeah.
but there still could be lizard people.
And I'm just
sure.
like this is like a fitting topic to where like it's us explaining how an urban legend is created.
Right. Is true.
Yeah,
And it's like us explaining how a conspiracy theory is like with 9/11, God forbid, like we've done one, we were talking about doing one on Friday, right? Friday.
Yeah.
But it kind of fell through just because
I fell asleep early as fuck.
dude, my Friday, I got off work at like midnight and I was not even about to text you boys to come over. But dude, it's like the fringe theories we don't really on the show we don't add fire or add air to the fire to it. But when there's like when there's a true conspiracy, when there's something more than what people are telling you, that's where our conspiracy comes in.
We should try to do like since we did a New York one, we should try to do all states. Do one for every state.
Find the most.
We'll make a map.
Biggest killer
Dude,
in each state.
Not the biggest killer, but the biggest like
biggest story.
Not even story, but like supernatural kind of shit. Like we go and do like this one.
But is it going to be a debunking of everyone, or is
I'd
it going
say
to be
the debunking? Because I mean, it's like I know everyone, but there's obviously people who try and say
I mean,
it's true.
I want to fucking.
There's no fact to it.
I want to fight for it to be real, but if you guys debunk it,
Well, yeah, well, and that's a lot of what we did. Like when we talked about the JFK shooting, we're like, well, it's been proven that the best marksman in the world can't recreate the shot. So
Right.
And then all these people were in the same town the night of the JFK shooting. We did the same thing with the RFK shooting where we're like, oh, well, he got shot in the back 3 times. The fatal shot was from his back, but the shooter was in front of him, all this shit.
Yeah.
Like all these conspiracy theories, like, God, it's just like, it's like,
are we conspiracy theorists?
I mean, yeah. Like I see conspiracy
technically,
theories in everything. Like in every news article I read, I'm like, that's not.
But is it a conspiracy,
right.
or am I looking for the truth?
I think people see
how is it a conspiracy if it's the truth?
But what's the
hey,
people...
you know who fucking made up the term conspiracy theorist? Someone who was trying to fucking hide the truth and label the people that were looking for the truth conspiracy theorists.
Like I think a lot of people look at conspiracy theorists and their main goal is to just label them as fucking
these guys
way too into it. But conspiracy theorists is like, if you actually look, it's like it's a case that's based off of really good evidence. Like people don't just become conspiracy theorists if they literally have nothing to go off of. They're crazy. But you have people that have research like us.
Well, the definition of conspiracy is 2 or more people meeting and planning a crime. That's the definition of conspiracy. Loosely, the definition of conspiracy.
So I guess it wouldn't be because yeah. So would it be like? Would you label conspiracy theories as? Is that why they're labeled conspiracy theories? Because people label as them as a way to say these guys are trying.
They're crazy. They don't know.
They're trying to make up a lie. They're conspiring to make a lie, which makes sense. But I like that. I mean, shit. It's like, well, they're conspiring against you, so fuck off. Like you guys did something bad, and we're conspiring against you.
Go fuck yourselves. We're gonna call ourselves conspiracy
Sometimes
theorists.
That's called treason, but I mean, I feel like we're truth searchers. We're not conspiring.
What's that quote? Scoresby? No, I'm just kidding.
Another shot.
No.
You have to.
Scotch.
No.
You called it. You fucking played the fucking thing. You can't come back from that, bro.
To have to play all the way and we have to do it? Is that like a thing?
I mean, no, you already played
as a joke.
I don't think I can take the scotch right now. I'll take a drink of my beer.
Nope.
Cheers to the word of the day. Again.
Well, my beers are gone, so.
Today's word of the day, conspiracy. Don't look up what our actual word of the day was today.
Dylan said it twice.
Rambo.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Cheers, bitches. Fuckheads.
I love you, boys.
Beer tastes so good.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, beer does taste good.
Well, I don't have. Yeah, I don't think. Let me just fucking.
Literally, the last line of my notes is Andre Rand will be eligible for parole in 2037.
Ooh. So one other thing, actually, I want to add that I remember I jotted down from the documentary that they were talking about when they were going through the tunnels and looking through, all of these people's stuff and belongings. They found a pair of young girls' panties in the shit that they were looking through.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just another thing. Like we said, like this might not have been just him. It could have been him giving him to other people to transport. That was another part of the show, was them saying, is this about satanic rituals? And people are like, yeah, like satanic rituals are going on. Like they're happening here. Like this is they're like, this is of course there's satanic rituals going on. They're quiet, they're small.
But what if it's not really as much of a homeless population as like you guys were saying, a satanic cult?
Yeah, if you liked their documentary on that, or on Cropsey, if you like the documentary on Cropsey, like they have another one, and it's
I feel like I've seen it. It looked really familiar when I saw him. I was like, I swear I've seen this.
They have another one that came out the year after and it's just called Urban Legends, and it's the creation of urban legends and stuff like that. And they like go to like Chicago where Gacy got arrested and stuff, an interview with a performance clown.
Right.
And it's they do a good job. They've only done 2.
Yeah, so if we ever go to fucking a place like this, it probably won't be New York because, we need to go to a place where we can, like, carry weapons and shit. I'm not going into a place like that without a gun. And New York is not very gun fucking happy.
New York City is not.
Yeah. So.
I'm pretty sure Staten Island has its own rules, though.
I don't know, but this is, we're in prime time of. I mean, we always thought the idea of riots and going to a riot would be dope because it was more of like a peaceful. But how these days, fuck, what's gonna be peaceful?
A year and a half ago, when we were talking about the Battle of Berkeley, and me and Dylan were talking about LARPing at a riot.
Yeah.
As opposed to right now.
I'm like,
fuck that.
Yeah, change my mind. Don't think I want to do it anymore.
Well, the movement's off, bro.
You should put my gold chain on.
I'm trying to get this green neck.
I want a gold chain. But I don't know. It's
Is it fake?
It's all crazy.
No, it's real gold.
Oh, damn. I was like, I want to get a green neck, but it feels nice.
You wear that for like 2 days and you like your neck is like you're just like, oh my god, this is actually like heavy.
Is it actually heavy?
Yeah,
it's a nice feeling one, dude.
I want to just hold it. Let me
turn around.
When you wear it,
put it on
when you wear it for a little bit, it feels fine, but after like time, like you actually feel the weight of it.
Yeah, solid. That's dope.
It's salad.
Man, I wouldn't. Yeah,
I literally bought that to make fun of someone I worked with.
I felt like fucking King Tut with that on, dude.
Now you need like the thick gold.
I mean, I don't have any gold, so.
You really think the weight of this would fucking put some strain?
No, it does over time. I wore it for like 4 days straight one time, and I woke up and I was just like,
"Come on, Dylan, I got you."
It's heavy. I mean, yeah, it is. It's got a little weight to it. I don't want it around my neck.
You don't want to be beautiful?
No, I don't. I refuse to be beautiful.
I'll wear it again. Fuck it.
But yeah, that's all I got on this guy. I don't think there was anything else besides the fact that he was probably, like, we talk about serial killers and shit like that, but this guy was attacking just mental kids.
I think he was doing what he believed. And that's it. Like, it might have been with the Son of Sam kind of shit.
That's,
like,
exactly.
We were talking, like, it might have been he was so schizophrenic that's what he fucking thought he had to do.
Right. I mean, well, yeah, his mom was fucking mental.
Yeah, he was like
he was around mental people all the time.
His sister also said, "Don't believe what he's telling you."
Right.
He's manipulating anyone that will let listen
Dude,
to what
that's
he
what
says.
in the documentary. Yeah, his sister tells the guy and the girl doing the documentary, saying, I think he's manipulating you. I think you guys are under, or I think he's tricked you guys." Like not saying like I think he's trying to trick you guys, but she made it the way she worded it was, you guys are being tricked by him right now.
Yeah.
Whether what they said, I don't know their whole conversation, but she said you guys are being tricked right now. So,
well, yeah, because he probably wasn't telling them the fucking right story. Just as
and he was mailing them like redacted letters from his lawyer and shit like that.
He would redact himself, kind of stuff. Like, just let me sit in here.
And he would put like undernotes. He's like typewriter shit.
I can just see it, bro. That's fucking hilarious.
So I remember real quick before we end, the two people doing the story went in for an interview with him. Got finally, after they tried to get an interview with him forever, and finally he decided to let him come in and talk and do an interview. They went in, came out and said he wouldn't talk to us. Like, finally, after saying he wanted to do an interview, they go in there and he's like, nope, don't want to talk to him.
Psychopaths, dude.
Psychopaths. And then, but he was writing letters to the guy doing this documentary.
Yeah.
And after a while, after the letters got weirder and weirder, the guy doing the documentary said, all right, we're done writing him. He's going too far off the wall now. There's literally no point. And after, I think it was 2 weeks later, they record it. Yeah, they record. They have a recording of a phone call that you can hear him speak. You get to hear him speak for the first time in the whole thing.
You haven't answered my letter in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's like, hey man, it's been 2 weeks and you haven't answered my letter. And it's like, oh damn, I know.
He didn't like that they weren't fucking showing him any fucking love no more. It's like, hey, be interested in me.
Right. You got that endorphin rush of like,
oh, dude.
Oh, this person wants to know what I'm about.
Yeah, dude. And
like, he knows that he's gonna die in jail.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
Yeah.
Let me just drool on myself some more.
I don't know. It's a weird thing. Cheers to the podcast. Cheers to talking about weird fuckheads like this. If I ever run into a guy like this and I know he's done something, I'll fucking punch him in the face. So,
yeah, maybe next time we'll dig up a good conspiracy theory for next week.
Soon to come, Atlantis. We don't know when because we've been talking about it for a month and a half.
We need some more time on this one.
The worst part about that is gonna be like a fucking 8-hour at least excursion.
I don't know. I think we could cover it in an episode if we went quick enough. Like, I mean, it's not like
if we fast forward through the whole thing.
If we don't sidetrack, if we don't get
the sidetracking, I'm not worried about. It's like just 8 hours of just straight Atlantis talk.
I don't know. I'll look into it. I'll see. I feel like a lot of
I'm pretty sure it's going to be like a very, very long, especially with sidetracks. I'm thinking 8 hours.
Like I've got the fucking
the what?
Something of a fish, dude, and I probably can't make it past like 3 hours in one session.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's gonna be like it's gonna be like a 3-parter or a 2-parter.
Yeah, gotta be.
There's too much to cover.
I just say we roll with it, and however far we get
the beans going.
If we get it in 1, if we need to do it in 2,
we can do it.
I don't think we can do it in 2.
17.
Or I don't think we can do it in 1.
18?
We might be able to do it in 2.
60.
I think a 2-parter is going to be the goal for 55. It. But yeah, so let's close out, boys. My beautiful boys.
Our beautiful followers.
My beautiful boys, my beautiful friends, my beautiful followers.
Brought to you fucking another podcast by all your fucking hosts here at the WRK podcast. We fucking love you guys.
Yep, I'm your host here, Michael Carrion, with my good friends.
Finish it.
AJ Lango and Dylan DeGrone. Woo! This is the WRK podcast.
Thank you, host Michael. Hell yeah.
You missed the catch line, though. The WRK podcast, where we ask the questions.
But at the end of the day, who really
knows?
Yeah, we'll catch you sexy sons of bitches next week. And before you click out of this episode, make sure you follow us on Twitter at WRKPod, on Instagram at WRKPodcast, and make sure 100% you hit up our Patreon page if you made it this far, patreon.com/WRKPod. Join the movement to make this show better. We want to mount some cameras.
Bro, we
want to bring on a producer. We just want. So just help us feed our wants. I don't know. But yeah, after you're done doing that, hit up our website, WRKpodcast.com. I spent like 30 minutes making the website. So it's pretty good as far as making a website goes these days.
Yeah.
But outside of that, we will...
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks, and we will catch you next week.
Hell yeah, thank you, fellas.
Next week, I want Michael to do the intro.